You know, back in the olden days of the 70s, parents didn't say, do you want to go to camp or do you not want to go to camp? Just one day, my parents put me on a school bus at the JCC and sent me to camp, and I just fell in love with it.
When I went to camp, I just did all the activities and ran around and had fun. And
I remember going to lunch, and Ayelet started cheering, and Sharon was cheering, and Golan was cheering. And I just, still to this day, first I can tell you where I sat in the dining hall, and I can also tell you the feeling that I had, which is this overwhelming, I need to be here.
Cheering's the best, especially because I'm in Golan and they have different types of cheers. Everybody does, but I like Golan's cheers because there's a cheer called Golan Go Crazy, and you take off your shirt and run around in the lunch room, and you'll never do that else. And the cheers are just amazing. It's so fun, and it'll boost you up if you're ever sad because it's so fun.
I think cheering is really the heart of Camp Sabra. Let's face it, who could cheer the loudest? And people remember the cheers to this day.
being at Sabra all those years that I was just a camper was very impactful to me as a child. But now being in the role that I'm in, it's even more impactful.
All those things we want for our children. Take responsibility. Learn how to speak up for yourself. Learn how to speak out for others. Learn how to be kind. All the resilience, all those things we want for your children, they practice and gather for themselves at camp.
They get to be kids. They get to have a summer where they have to use their imagination again, where they have to fill empty time, where they can come up with just things to do, and camp has everything to do.
One eye, you see, oh, they get out of it just a lot of fun. So that's one way of looking at it. There's a total other way of looking at what they're doing as well. You've got a camper who's on a boat who has never skied before. And with the encouragement of staff, with the encouragement of their other cabin mates, they get into the water, they put on their skis, and they attempt. And most likely, they fall. And that's hard. It's humiliating. It's frustrating. It can make you sad. It can make you angry. But that camper, with the encouragement of all those people in the boat, they get back up again. And they try it again.
What I really learned was when one of my friends was up on the perch to go down the zip line and they were scared and could be crying, that it was super powerful if I was down below them, encouraging them, clapping, cheering, come on, you can do it. That's what I've taken with me for the rest of my life.
You're definitely going to find a friend that's always going to have your back, and that's a good thing about camp.
Camp, I made a lot of new friends that I would have never made before. It's to this day, I still hang out with all of them. It's a great community. And I think in general, I learned relationship and life skills that I couldn't have got anywhere else.
The Foundation for Jewish Camp has done many studies that show that there are many important things in the life of a Jewish child that will make a difference. And by make a difference, I mean people who will grow up to be Jews who are interested in Jewish philanthropy, who are interested in Jewish membership, whether it's a J or a synagogue, raising other Jewish children, having a Jewish home. Trips to Israel is one of the factors. Jewish day school is another one of the factors. But the X factor in all of them, they found through studies, is Jewish summer camp. That when that is added into any other kind of Jewish life, you're just much more likely to have Jewish adults.
When you're at camp and you are surrounded by primarily most Jewish people, campers and staff, you don't have to explain who you are. You just are you. And that is such a great and there's a calm about that you don't have to explain to someone who you are.
One of the things I loved about being at a Jewish overnight camp is I went to Hebrew school, I went to Sunday school, I had a bat mitzvah, I did all the things you're supposed to do. But when I was at Sabra and celebrating the Shabbat and singing and being joyous, that's when I really enjoyed being Jewish.
A time at camp that I find really amazing is Shabbat.
I love Shabbat. There's a lot to look forward to in that day. You wake up, you have a great breakfast. You go to services, which I actually do pay attention to.
And they'll say, feel free to continue standing while you finish your prayer, and when you're ready, you can sit down. And that one really cool, awesome, I just want to be like you counselor is still standing and is in the moment and is reading the prayer to themselves and takes their own time. And you can see the other campers kind of looking like, oh, I can be the cool person. I can be wild and crazy and, put face paint and body paint all over me for Maccabiah. And I can also be Jewish and be very proud of who I am. And that is one of my favorite moments. It happens every Shabbat. And I just love sitting in the back and watching it happen.
So Camp Sabra helps both staff and campers develop leadership skills.
There are big moments that you can be a leader, but there's also sneaky moments that campers get an opportunity to be a leader. Maybe they're at arts and crafts and somebody doesn't know how to do something. And quietly, you have a camper walk over and show them, another camper, how to do that arts and crafts project. So I think there's sneaky moments in there that they are building on how they can be a leader in this world.
If you learn how to be with people for a few weeks, that's going to help you in the future, just like whenever you're in a place with a lot of people that you don't know, and just learning how to make friends and learning how to meet new people. Like the same methods that I use learning at Sabra, I could use in any future incidents.
That's why these friendships are forever. You're getting up in the middle of the night and waking somebody up to go to the restroom with you. You are choosing your activities together. You are giggling at night together. You are having a struggle and you figure that out together, and that makes all of these relationships richer, and they do last a lifetime. Not only can I sing the songs I learned when I was 9, but I have friends who I could call who I made because I lived with them in a cabin at 9 years old. And they are relationships like none other.
In order for people to experience that joy and the experience that, where they can be a kid and have fun, it's important to raise the funds to help people. And maybe somebody needs a lot, maybe somebody needs a little.
As I got older, I understood, and I think it's because of camp, that Jews take care of Jews in the community. Nobody else is going to do it. And I think that I felt a responsibility as a Jewish woman to give back to my community through time, through philanthropy, and I hope through that example that our children follow in those footsteps.
It's hard to talk about money, and especially these times. This is a really wonky time in this world. And we have people that lost their jobs, or people that their incomes went down so much because of what's happened in this world, and inflation, et cetera. There's so many things going on. But they know that sending their camper to Jewish overnight camp, to send them to Camp Sabra, is so important that they're willing to make sacrifices to make that happen.
A family may have applied for scholarship and they have the maximum scholarship. They've gone to their synagogue, they've gone to a local federation, and they're just still not quite there. And we'll take money that a donor gave us, that somebody generously gave us, and we're able to say to this family, if we gave you another $300, could you do it? If we gave you another $350, you could do it. And we make it happen. We've been very lucky with all the support that we get from our J community to not have to say no to a child.
When the families find out that they have gotten awarded scholarship money, they are so grateful. They contact me after camp and they tell me what camp just did to their child. Maybe like my own child, it made them loud for the first time in their life. Maybe they came home and they were able to sing blessings that they never knew before. Maybe they live in a small town and they're the only Jewish child at their school or even in their town. And now they're able to do this. And now they have this piece of amazing Jewish traditions that they can now take with them, all because of the scholarship.
It's a camp that changed my life, and I think if you could donate and help out another family that wants to send their kid there, it's a great opportunity for them, and it could positively impact the kid's life forever. And I think it's a great thing to donate to.
You have a major piece of Jewish history here. We are the future of Jewish history. And I know that sounds odd, but that is what I think Camp Sabra, I think Jewish camping is, and I think our piece of it in the Midwest, that's our truth, is we are creating Jewish history.
I would say Camp Sabra is one of the most special places in the world to me. You know, we've traveled the world, but Rocky Mount, Missouri is really where it's all going on in the summer. It is lively, it is loving, it is a caring community, and my wish is that everyone has a chance to experience it.